And this is something that needs to be solved. So there was the army involved. It was never run in Thailand. I mean, there was definitely a lot of risk involved. And if you just go for the money, it's not fun.
Did it affect you in your emotional state? How do you deal with that?
It had to be done.
Dinner in the Sky
Dinner in the Sky ครับ
Dinner in the Sky
ก็คือ Dinner in the Sky นะครับหรือว่าร้านอาหารลอยฟ้า
Friso Poldervaart, entrepreneur and philanthropist, is the co-founder of Dinner in the Sky Bangkok, a global brand across 50 countries taking dining to new heights. He also founded the Bangkok Community Help Foundation, which feeds and shelters the poor in the capital city. Through donations, fundraising, food banks, providing shelter, building homes, community and charity work, they have helped feed and shelter over 1 million people in Bangkok, Thailand. We sit with Friso today to talk about his inspiration as an entrepreneur to start and successfully open Dinner in the Sky, where many before him have tried and failed. The difficulties he faced in his journey and his continued charity work and help for the people in a city he now calls home in Bangkok, Thailand. Introducing Friso Poldervaart. Over 75% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. Could you please take a moment to subscribe to the Thaiger podcast? It would really help us out. Friso, you moved to Thailand at 19 with $600.
Yes. Why
would you do that?
Well, I really wanted to be here. You know, I came here from such a young age. I was 11. My best friend is half Thai, so his mom is Thai, his father is Dutch. I grew up with him, basically. I mean, we're like brothers. We went to school together.
Okay.
And, you know, when I was sort of old enough, his mom said, hey, we want to bring you with us to Thailand. We'll go on holiday. So I came and, you know, at 11 years old, I mean, I come from a little small town in the Netherlands. So I was just like, wow, this is crazy. You know, I love it because really like a small town boy, you know, coming in this huge metropolis, you know, so I loved it immediately by then, you know, but I was so young still. So it's like, you know, I was going to school and I mean, I was going to study film actually. And I graduated and I must have been 10, 12 days later that I moved. I just wanted to be here.
So you studied what, film in university?
Yes.
Wow.
Correct. Yeah. Cinematography actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
So when you first came to Thailand at 19, what was your plan? Did you have a plan or you just wanted to be here? Like, did you think you could do film here?
Well, I was lucky in that way that I was able to do an internship. So the last year of university, we had to do an internship. So I arranged to do an internship in Bangkok because I was like, okay, this would be the perfect fire test for me to go. It was 6 months. I was like, okay, if I like it, you know, because holiday and living is a different thing. And I realized like, okay, let's try it out. So I was lucky in that way. So I did the internship with a media company actually. So we did a lot of productions, we did a lot of stuff for like Thai TV, and so it was really great. And I did a job for a Dutch company in Chiang Mai as well.
Okay.
They found me online, they knew I was here. So both the Dutch company and the production company offered me a job when I left. So I had that, luckily. I was like, okay, I have some sort of thing to fall back on. So that was really a big help. Because I mean, of course, if you come without anything, it's a deep dive, you know. So at least I had that, and that helped a lot. So I decided to go work for the Dutch company in Chiang Mai, and well, that was sort of the beginning.
Dutch company,
you know?
in Chiang Mai.
Yeah. So they were importing like Thai crafts and all these kind of, you know, things from, you know, you have like Ban Thawai and stuff like in the north, where they make like furniture of wood and stuff. Yeah. So they were exporting that to the Netherlands and selling that.
Wow.
So they wanted me to do like their social online marketing. So it was like,
Yeah,
it was like,
but at that point you were also like anything to be here.
Basically, yeah. Because to be honest, I didn't pay anything. I mean, it was really bad pay, but it was just like, okay, I can go, you know. So let's go. And I worked very hard in that company, but I realized very soon, like, okay, it wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, like Chiang Mai at that time,
slower than ever.
Slower than ever, yeah. And I was like, and everything was going on in Bangkok. I was like, I need to go there.
Yeah.
So at some point, I just said, okay, I quit and I leave. So yeah.
I completely understand you because most people, when they know that I'm from Phuket, right? I lived there for 20 years. They're like, why would you like Bangkok? Or you must hate it here. I'm like, it's the opposite. I love it here. The rush, the pace.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, even if it's traffic, like there's options. You can take a motorbike, you can walk, you can take a train.
Yeah.
In Phuket, you're
boat.
just like, if you don't have a boat, exactly. There's
Cool.
a canal right there.
Yeah.
But like in Phuket, if you don't have a car, you can't go anywhere. And
Right.
now there's enough traffic to even compete with Bangkok sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting much worse over there as well.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I love just to be part of this huge machinery, you know, this huge city where there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And it gives a lot of energy. I love Bangkok so much. I mean, it's really deep love for this city with all the the faults it has. Because I mean, in many ways, it's not a fun, because I mean, it's very taxing, right? It's always noisy and it's hot, and it's pretty heavy sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I just love it so much.
Yeah, and I completely I love the beach, but I had 20 years of it, so
And also that,
yeah.
right? At some point.
So tell me, like, from coming here at 19, you get your first job, you're happy you're here.
Yeah.
How do you go from there to, basically becoming an entrepreneur?
Right.
Like, did you do other jobs? Did you find a way to Bangkok, and then that's when things started taking off? Because I want to talk about, you being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
But before I get there, what led to the decision to get there?
Yeah, I mean, it was, like creative people usually are not that good in business, right? It's just the way it is. So I am very creative, and I was in a creative field. I moved to Bangkok, and I kind of realized, like, okay, if I want to make it long term and make it big, I need to do something by myself.
Yeah.
And I was always like, when I was young, kind of sort of always hustling, so it's always been in me.
Yeah.
But I chose to go, the creative route, right? So, the most, how do you say that? The most obvious step was to get back into film, like do something with, video. So I came to Bangkok, I met my, business partner at that time, and he had this idea, he wanted to build a website where we map out the whole nightlife industry of Bangkok, and we would do it through video. So it was a very good match, and I was new to Bangkok, so for me it was the perfect way to
learn the city.
The city. So it was crazy,
the real city.
Oh, it was amazing, honestly, because I just came in and we just mapped out 800 venues, videos for all of them. So it was just a crash course. What is Bangkok, right? With all it has. So it was such a great time, and that was when I started to dip my toes into business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, I loved it so much, and it did well. The website did well. This is 10 years ago, so this was kind of before Facebook and before YouTube, even, like the whole sort of how it is now.
What was this website called?
Bangkok Nightlife.
Bangkok Nightlife.
Yeah, so it was, it was a platform where you could go and you could find any restaurant, any nightclub, any bar.
I think I've been on there before.
Yeah, must be. Yeah. We did like
as soon
party
as you said
pictures.
Bangkok, I remember the logo, and then like it has information about like this club or
Correct.
this. Oh,
yes,
that's so cool, man.
Yeah. So that was it, and there was nowhere to go, right? I mean,
when was this? 10 years ago.
It must. Yeah, I think
that makes sense because I was in university, so I've definitely seen it.
There we go.
Because like I had come from Phuket initially, right? So I'm like a noob to Bangkok. I don't know much. Oh man, look at you.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So and so it was great, and it was a lot of fun, obviously, to build that company, and we did. Yeah, like I said,
and not many people did it in English as well. I think you did it in English, right? So that's why for me, I can't read Thai or speak. I can speak Thai, but I cannot read or write. So yeah, like if you want to find information back then as well, it's either like Bangkok Post.
Yes.
Or a blog, but no dedicated website.
No, it wasn't it wasn't there. It wasn't that advanced. And like, Facebook the same. Now, you want to find an event, you go on Facebook and you find. But that time there were all kinds of great events, but nobody knew, right?
Yeah.
Like, when are they and where are they? So we just compiled everything. So it was great, and it worked well because people love to use it, and that's. So yeah, that was kind of the start. And I started to understand, okay, what is doing business, and make a lot of mistakes, of course.
Yeah.
But then it's also a passion, right? Doing business in many ways is also very fun and challenging, and that's when I learned, like, okay, I like this. I really like this hustle and this grind. And then from there, it's like many other things sprouted.
Did you find it difficult to work in Thailand? Over here things are a lot more sabai compared to what you're used to.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I wasn't really used to much in the way that, because I moved so early.
Okay.
So I didn't really. I did like the odd jobs, like when I was studying. And I did. I always worked. I worked in the supermarket. I was a cleaner. I was always like trying to, make money, but I never was in like a corporate structure of any kind.
So it was like experiencing for the first time.
Right. Yeah. So I always say sort of my adult life has been here.
Okay.
Right, because I would not also really know how it is back in the Netherlands, how that would work, right? So I think that's a big plus. I learned it here, and I learned the way it works, and that's what I'm used to as well.
Yeah.
So
you might struggle if you go back now.
Honestly, I think so. Yeah, of course. Sometimes you contemplate, like, well, how would it be to go back?
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to.
Yeah.
And if I would start business over there.
Yeah. So, all right. I think we'll dive into what people might actually know you most for, right? So I wanted to talk about, entrepreneurship. You came here at 19, you started basically like an online magazine, online website, talking about nightlife. And then you come to Dinner in the Sky, right? So how did you first become interested in like the restaurant industry? Because it does run like a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And what inspired you to start Dinner in the Sky? Because it's in many huge cities around the world.
Yes.
Like people talk about going big. You went to the sky, man.
Right. So, literally, yeah. No, that's true. And it wasn't necessarily like, okay, I want to open a restaurant or whatever, but it was just the concept of Dinner in the Sky that was so appealing. So I remember seeing it online, again with the same business partner, Swedish guy. We always work together on everything. And we saw, either someone told us or we saw a video of this, this table going up. And it's like, wow, we looked at each other and said, if we can bring this to Bangkok, it will be a bomb. It will be, everybody would want to go. So we're like, let's make that happen. So they were running it in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So we flew over there, we met the people that were running it there, we took the actual flight itself, so we went up, and we just said, we have to do this, we have to make this work. So we bought the license for Thailand and said, okay, let's go, let's try to get this going. And we knew actually that there have been many that tried before.
Yeah.
And nobody was ever able to actually get it off the ground, literally.
So were there before any Dinner in the Sky
Not in Thailand, but there were many that tried.
Okay.
So we found out that there's, because of this licensing construction, that there has been 8 different groups or companies or individuals that had bought the license before us. But it was never run in Thailand.
Wow.
So they either bought it, they never did something with it, or they bought it, they tried, and they just couldn't get it going.
Okay.
And, well, of course, we also realized when we started, like, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But, we were very confident, like, okay, we must be able to do this. And,
how do you even find the space in the middle of this metropolis to, because obviously it has its own, it basically lifts you up with a crane.
Correct,
you need a lot of space and...
Yeah, yes, it needs like a parameter for safety, and the land needs to be in a certain area, because we could go to like Bang Na and do it in a field there, but there wouldn't be anything to see, right? So we were lucky. We struck a deal with the Sukhumvit Mall Group, where they're now building the M-Sphere. So at that time, that land was vacant. You had the Dino Park. Yeah. And there was a land like on the side of that was vacant. Yeah. So we took the land from them. But that time we spoke with Asia Teak, for example, as well. We were in talks with them. Like, okay, that might be nice. Yeah, that would have been cool as well. Yeah. So, and it's also like, where do you get the best deal, of course? Yeah. And with the Sukhumvit City Mall Group, we got a really good deal, and they were on board in the whole. They were also like very interested to run
Yeah.
it by the, with us. So we were fortunate that that happened. But yeah, I mean, it's pioneering, man, because it's like, you come with this pretty wild sort of idea, and like, so with governments, and they just looked at us, say, you guys are crazy, what are you talking about? It's like,
Yeah.
gonna lift 24 people up with a construction crane
Yeah.
the middle of Bangkok. I mean, who are you guys?
Yeah.
Go get out of my office.
Because when you look at the video as well, like, because like, yeah, they're sitting in these slim chairs with like, which just looks like seat belts.
Yeah. Roller coaster style. Yeah, literally like an 8-point safety belt, like you have.
Oh
in
yeah, so
roller
they have one
coasters.
at the bottom as well,
Yes,
right? That's what I
yes.
thought.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
in
yeah.
the pictures it looks like, hey man, that's not a lot holding them to their chair, because you never
Yeah.
know, someone might do something silly, right?
Yeah, well, you could recline back, so that was
Yeah,
like
I
one
saw
of
that part,
the
yeah.
fun parts, and there's nothing under you, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really such an amazing and unique experience that that's to come to your question. It's like we just recognize that, I think, very quickly. Like, okay, if we bring this to Thailand, it will be huge. It will be a lot of fun. We're going to give a lot of people a great experience they will never forget. And I'm always very happy because, you become a little bit the dinner in the sky guy
Yeah.
at some point, because
Yeah.
everybody knows you from
Yeah.
that, right? And people just, even today, come up and say, you know what, I went there, I went a second time, and I loved it so much. Please bring it back. I want it to come back. And that's cool. I love the
Yeah.
fact that people have this fond memory of
Yeah.
that moment, and that's great.
It just attracts attention even if you don't want to, man. Like
Absolutely.
it just becomes like, oh, by the way, I had dinner at the Sky.
Yeah. Oh, what was the Sky Bar? No,
Yeah.
we were lifted up with a crane. And
Yeah.
it's also from a marketing perspective,
Yeah.
right? It's like you put a crane in the middle of the city, literally. I mean, it was
Yeah.
for the people maybe that don't still know. It's like next to Emporium, between Ben Jasiri Park
Yeah.
and Emporium.
Yeah.
So, main Sukhumvit, so many people. So, and then, you would drive by and it would just be this table dangling in the air with a lot of lights. So,
Yeah.
of course, everybody saw this. I mean, marketing-wise, it was already huge just by hanging it up.
Yeah.
That was number one, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was the talk of the town. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
do it better than that, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so
True.
super fun, man. I have such fond memories of that. And I wasn't a restaurateur at all. I know nothing about restaurants. I mean, before, right?
Yeah.
But I just realized, okay, let's do this because this will be fun. And I
Okay.
think, through my whole sort of career in business, that's always been the main driver. And now also with the foundation, it always been like, okay, let's do something that we really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I also ventured in some businesses where it was only about money. And, the old saying is true. I mean, if you just go for the money, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not, you have to really enjoy doing
Yeah.
it because you're going to do it a lot.
Yeah.
Day and night.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you faced in operating maybe Dinner in the Sky? So let's start with, for example, licensing, because you
Yeah.
were already aware that, let's say, 6 or 8 people have tried this before.
Yes.
So you think to yourself, like, well, what?
Why is that?
Yeah, why is that? Like, am I doing the right thing?
Yes.
So what were the initial challenges that maybe like people never got it going first?
Yeah, it was exactly the licensing issue because it's like it's never been done. So we literally went to the government and said, okay, we have this idea, and they looked at us, say, guys, you're insane. It's never gonna happen. I mean, because everybody thinks the same thing. Oh, it's way too dangerous. I mean, it's like this can never, this can go wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people, there's 24 lives hanging on a crane, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, it can never go wrong. I mean, this is a concept that's been tested thousands of times,
Yeah.
and it's certified, and so it can't go
Yeah.
wrong. But you need to convince
Yes.
people
Yeah.
of that, right? So,
Theme parks exist,
right.
Roller coasters exist.
Yes. And it's interesting that you say that because at the final end, we got a license for a roller coaster. That was the
You're
actual
joking.
license.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was classified as a roller
Yes,
coaster.
yes, as a theme park.
Dinner in the Sky
attraction.
roller coaster.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Because there was just no license for it. I mean, we could talk to governments, to lawyers, and they would just be like, "Oh, guys, we don't know. that what license should this be? I mean, it's a restaurant,
Yeah.
but it's hanging in the air. There's construction crane there. So is it what do we do with
Yeah.
that? So it's just a crazy mix of everything, right?
That's what I thought. So do you need like construction permit, then restaurant permit,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
a roller coaster to operate
yeah,
it?
yeah, yes. We
Wow.
need it all. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So because it involves all this moving parts, right? So we needed all those permits, and of course, the way Thailand works, it is a little bit of a special sort of environment, right? When
Yeah.
it comes to doing business with, especially with anything that's government related. So of course, there's also that part where
Yeah.
you need to, rub some backs a little bit, and I need you
Let
know
them
what
know
I'm
you
talking.
care.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And we were confident and we were well connected enough to get that done, and that actually turned out to be partially right, but still. There's so many different parts. So there was the army involved, the construction. There was
The army?
firemen involved. Yeah, everybody sort of
on standby.
Well, it's kind of a magnet, right? So it's
Okay.
like, it's a magnet for people to come and eat at your restaurant. That's number one. But it's also a magnet for, people to kind of come and think, oh, maybe we can have a little part of the
Oh, I see.
cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's just the way it works, and I mean, it's
You're not
it's
going to
just-
be a pioneer and have it all to yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's just
Okay.
it's the law of the land, right? And we knew that, and
Yeah.
but it was a real struggle, honestly, to convince, and we were very close at some points to not being able to pull it off. Actually,
Yeah.
when really there was, they were blocking like the actual permission.
Okay.
But we
Sometimes you
just
don't
kept
even get a reason.
No, not really. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's vague, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And we did like a huge press conference. All the Thai media was there. We didn't even have the permit yet. This is kind of like, this sketches out the situation a bit, right? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we were just pushing and hoping for the best, and like pulling all the strings we could. But it's also at some point your reputation is on the line
Yeah.
too, right? So it had to be done somehow.
Yeah.
It had to be done, and we got it done.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So you convinced people, you got the permits,
Yeah.
you've done the press conference. Once it starts running, obviously, like you said, it becomes the talk of the town.
Yeah.
You've had celebrities on there.
Yes.
You're getting these phone calls from random people you've either not met for a long time, or you're meeting new people
Yeah.
who are like, Friso, you gotta get me on here.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what were the challenges once things started off? Because obviously then you get new challenges.
Yeah,
right?
well, the biggest challenge was that we just didn't have enough capacity for the people that wanted to go. So that's a very
Okay.
good
Yeah.
challenge to have, right?
Yeah.
So we started introducing like extra sessions, extra flights, evening extra, daytime extra, just to fill the demand. But it was obviously a very good problem to have,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it was
Like
the
an
mark-
exclusive
yeah,
club.
It was super exclusive.
Yeah.
And the strategy was, I mean, we ran it for 4 months, right? But when we went out to the public, we said we already run it for 2. But we knew that we were going to extend for 2 months. But this is obviously marketing strategy to, get people to sort of get it hyped, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that worked really well. I mean, we sold the first day we did a show with Woody, the
Yes,
the
Top
Thai,
host,
yeah, the Thai TV presenter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when that aired on a Sunday night, we sold out like the first 1.5 months in that night. So it was like, boom, here we go.
Yeah.
It was huge, really. And I remember like we did the show with him. He was the first one that was gonna go on. He brought all his celebrity friends. It was exclusive on his TV show. He had the premiere, and in return, he would, we would give him that spot.
Yeah.
In return, he would put us on his new show. It was the
Yeah.
first episode. And yeah, we sold out, man. I remember he called me and said, "How's it going?" I said, "You have no idea what just happened. I mean, it had just exploded."
Okay.
And then, of course, it was
Yeah.
confirmed, like, this is big,
Yeah. I was a student at the time. I couldn't afford it, but even I heard about it because I used to be in Salaya, which is like not even in Bangkok, right?
Okay, yeah.
But you hear the news of the big city, and I was like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm young, right? I'm like, what a gimmick.
Yeah,
But the truth was, I would never be able to afford it, right? It's like, you have to
Yeah.
go in the city and like everybody looks so fancy, right?
Yeah,
Because this is like, you got to understand, like, it's not just dinner. And yeah, you pay that amount of money for dinner in the sky. You get that exclusive, grand feeling. But
Yeah.
it was like a model show as well.
Definitely.
People dressing up,
Yeah.
it's, and maybe Instagram wasn't as big back then. Or I don't even know Instagram was there or not. But like, yeah, it was like you become the talk within your community. It's like you're
Absolutely.
telling all your friends, like, guess where I went over the
Yeah,
weekend, and everyone was like, damn, how'd you get tickets?
Yeah.
Can't even get on that.
Yeah, you had to be there. You had
Yeah.
to be there, and that was all. I mean, the strategy was, of course, to get all the influencers, to get all the
Yeah.
stars over there. So of course we invited them, and they came.
Yeah.
So that only magnified, that feeling of exclusivity, because they were all there. And it's like you say, it was every night was kind of like a gala premiere.
Yeah.
Like there was a red carpet, and it was all these stars, and it was all.
Yeah.
So it was great. It just worked so well.
Did it ever get like overwhelming where you're just like, there's so many people who you get these calls and you just tell them like, what do you want me to do? Kick these people out? I can't get you a seat.
Right. Yeah. No, that happened. Yeah. I mean, it was just like we started introducing these extra sessions,
Yeah.
right? So we were able to somehow.
Because in my research, right, I was looking and there was like, I saw some old posts like, okay, we're doing an extra one at like dinner at 9 p.m. And I was like, dinner at 9 p.m. in Thailand?
yeah.
But I was like, yeah, if I can't go at 6, I
Correct.
just want the experience.
Yes.
So I will have dinner at 9 if that's
Yeah.
what you want me to do.
Right, and that was exactly what it was about, the experience, right?
Yeah.
Even the food. I mean, we had amazing food. We worked with Sheraton Sukhumvit on this.
Yeah.
Amazing food, but people even forgot to eat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be selfies. It would be more selfies,
Yeah.
and like enjoying the champagne. Some people just forgot, like, oh, there's food as well,
Yeah.
right? So it's really the experience. And
So I think for any viewers who might not be aware of Dinner at the Sky, like explain the concept quickly. So basically, there's 24 seats around a table. There's a chef on the table
Yeah.
that lifts up with you.
Yes.
And then they cook you a 4-course dinner.
yes.
And is there a time limit? Like you're up there for 1 hour,
Yeah,
2
you're up there
hours?
for 1 hour. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's exactly that. So it's a big table in the middle. There is the room for chefs, and then the chairs are situated on the outside. So you're literally
Yeah.
dangling in the air. There's nothing below you. There's no like footrest. There's no net. There's nothing. So once you look down, it's 50 meters.
Yeah.
So then you realize like, oh wait, we're pretty high up,
Yeah.
right? So you would be able to recline your seat. So I mean that gives like an extra sort of wow effect. And of course, you would be hanging in the middle of Bangkok with the Benjasiri Park under you. You would look down Sukhumvit, like lower Sukhumvit,
Yeah.
upper Sukhumvit. So it was the perfect spot. And yeah, you would go up, you would pre-book your dinner, because everything that we did was prepared downstairs. Thing is, you cannot have any open fires, cannot have gas, nothing on this table in the air, right? Just for safety reasons. So what we did was that the chefs would do the final preparation up in the sky.
Okay.
So this would be the cutting of the meat, the sauce, the garnish, all these kind of things. So it really felt like, okay, the chef is doing his thing. But nothing was prepared up, just for safety reasons. Then you would have dinner there for an hour, 4 courses. There would be music. There would like pictures, like a roller coaster. We would take pictures, and then when you would come down, you would have like this cutout thing with a picture in it. Like you have in roller coasters.
Yeah.
So it was exactly that. So I mean, it was.
I hope you enjoyed the ride.
Right. And it was fun. And I think the question most people probably have is like, okay, what happens if you have to go to toilet? Because I think this question I've received 1 million times. But we had toilet downstairs. We would announce every 5 minutes, okay, we're leaving or we're taking off at 7 p.m. Go to toilet, go to toilet, go to toilet. Please, we cannot go down.
Okay.
So-
And have you ever had like when you get up there, someone like just starts freaking out and they can't do it?
No. Luckily not.
Yeah.
A lot of people were scared.
Yeah.
Like really, I had a lot of people come up say, I don't know if I can do it. And we could go down, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we would be down in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we had, said, okay, if you really can do it, we can go down. And everybody that had that fear went up came back after an hour with a smile like this, and just said, wow, I'm so happy I did it.
Yeah.
It was great. Because you forget at some point that you're in the air.
Yeah.
Only, again, if you look down, then you really realize,
Okay.
like, whoa. So the going up is a bit scary,
Yeah.
obviously. Then
Yeah.
once you're hanging there, it's beautiful. You have the breeze.
So how much did it cost per person?
It was on weekdays, it was 4,999.
Okay.
And on weekends, it was 5,399. So weekends
That's
are a bit
still
more expensive.
very good price point.
Yeah, very affordable. Yeah. For a 4-course dinner of
Maybe
Sheraton.
at that time I was a lot younger. I didn't have much money. So
Yeah. No, I mean, still, yeah, it's a novelty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
and I mean, if you go, like, let's say you go with your girlfriend. I mean, now it's closer to 10,000 baht. You
Yeah.
buy a bottle of wine,
Yeah.
right? So it goes there. So
It's like a proper, like, a Valentine's
Absolutely, yeah.
anniversary, something like
Yeah.
that. And so when you made your booking, there's 24 seats, and then you're also sharing that space with other people.
right. Right.
Or did you ever have like people who just booked all 24?
We had also, yeah, people that wanted to do it privately. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So they would sit next to each other, and there would be nobody there. But also the fun part of like going with a lot of people that you didn't know was like, okay, you're all stuck up there, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a lot of
Yeah.
conversations
Okay.
that sort of happened with the
Yeah.
person next to you. So that was also a lot of fun to see people like,
Because you're sharing that as well. It's
right.
nice. Yeah.
You're all going up, and it's a bit, it's a bit scary.
It's like literally in a roller coaster. You're
Yes.
there with people who you don't know, but you're
Exactly.
all screaming
Yes.
and sharing that same experience.
Yeah, you're in the same boat, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people came down, and then they would hang around downstairs, and we had a bar.
Oh,
And they
okay,
would hang
nice.
around there.
So
and
the
talk
party
and-
didn't end over there. So
No,
like,
no,
you go
yeah.
up, have your dinner, you come back, chill at the bar and
Right,
nearby. Okay.
right. Well, we built like a lounge.
Nice. Okay.
So that was where people hang and drink, and
Okay. And
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm just thinking, right? Like from a business perspective, like that's a really good price point. You've got to rent the space, the crane,
Mm-hmm.
getting people up, the safety, not ambulance, but like in case something goes wrong, you have someone on
right,
standby.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So like, did you guys have sponsors? Like, how did you guys create? How did you guys get revenue and try to get profitability?
Well, I mean, there was definitely profit in the ticket sales alone already,
Okay.
because also because we sold out everything, right? So, but we had sponsors, yeah. Of course, again, if you have a big table hanging 50 meters in the air, you put a banner under it, right? So we had a banner sponsor placement of a certain company that was with their banner there. We had a deal with Uber. Uber was
Okay.
bringing everybody. I think it was for free. So if you were going to book an Uber to dinner in the sky when Uber still existed, here they would bring you there. We had, of course, drink sponsors. Then we had
Okay.
Sheraton that was in there with the food. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a big media machine, right? It's like
Yeah.
a marketing promotion machine. So everybody that was part of it got obviously their benefits out of it as well.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I was like, the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, yes, obviously, you're selling an experience,
Yes.
like really.
Yes.
And like you said, if I was there when I was watching the videos, I would do exactly like the people there, because they're like, they're playing with their chair, like freaking out, man. So even though the food is already nice, because you've got your food from Sheraton and stuff, but the experience just makes up for everything else, and like that would just be like marketing gold. It's like
It is.
it's
yeah.
the talk of the town.
Yeah.
I want my logo there. I want
Yeah.
my company involved in there.
Yes.
This is it.
Yes. Yeah.
And you told me you were going to do it for 4 months. So was your plan
Yeah.
to just do it for 4 months to make it still feel kind of exclusive and special?
Yes. So that the strategy was exactly that. Like we bring it. Strategy was we bring it to Bangkok, and then we take it away, and then we bring it, let's say, to Phuket or to Pattaya or whatever, or we move it in Bangkok to another place. It's a little bit like a moving circus, right? Also, just to get a new audience.
Yeah.
But also to create again that scarcity, right? Like it's selling out. It's almost gone. Get your tickets. I mean, it's just this endless sort of cycle of just
Yeah.
pushing, right?
Is it easier to run a restaurant when you know that you're going to have 24 people only? So there's less wastage,
Oh
right?
yeah, of
I
course.
guess.
Yeah. And your menu is limited. I mean, of course, you have we had 2 choices for every course. Then you have vegetarian. So yeah.
And you can ask them first, and
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
they
you're not
would
wasting
pre-book.
much. Okay.
Yeah, right. So online they would book their tickets and it was okay, I want this for my first, this for my second, so for the courses, right? So we knew exactly every day exactly what we needed. So yeah, of course it's much easier than having a 20-page menu
Yeah.
and all the different ingredients, and we knew exactly what was happening every day. We knew exactly who was coming, what they wanted to eat, what kind of wine they ordered, do they want champagne. So yeah, of course that, but still it's a machinery to operate, right? And still all got to be on time, the food got to be hot. Of course we always work to give
By the time you reach the main, it might be 45 minutes. How did you keep the food hot?
Yeah, so that's it's like food warmers basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is it's almost like science, right? How to do this, and again, big credits to Sheraton, and you had Chef Gaetano that was sort of leading this, and you had Robert, the Dutch manager at the time. They really did a great job as well. I mean, they made sure everything was perfect every day. So, and that's was a big help. And I mean,
And did you ever think that maybe you'd have 2 cranes and have like 2 sets of 24?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, there were so many ideas. I mean, we also thought about doing concerts in the sky. Because I mean, if you can have a chef in the middle, why not have a famous artist in the middle and have a
extremely
super exclusive thing in the sky, right? There were so many ideas.
It might sound strange, but there are people who would want that.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Because you can pre-book it. That's the thing. You have nothing to lose. You already have this great idea executed after all these things. So the ideas after are endless. It's like, why can't we do a private concert? Why can't we do a private speech or or interview or anything?
Exactly, anything. Or like a podcast even. Or a radio show. I mean, a TV show we did. Like the first night we did with Woody, right?
Yeah.
So, you can basically do anything. You can have meetings there. You can have whatever. So, there was a lot of potential. But again, we were just so full with doing the dinners by itself. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what's been the most memorable dining experience you've had with Dinner in the Sky, either as an organizer or a participant? If you just had to pick this one memory.
The first flight was like with all friends.
Okay.
So, with all and associates and, my partner and me have been, working so hard on this, and it was so, it was it was very stressful. And so when we sort of went up the first time and all the friends were there and everybody was enjoying it, it was like, wow, we actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
It's really happening.
Yeah.
So that I will never forget, because it was just, everybody knew that, how much we put into there, and that it finally happened and we were all there. It was such a great experience. And I was there, every day, of course, and I was happy, to go up with some people once in a while, with either family or friends. And we had a lot of wedding proposals, which was kind of, was really fun,
Okay.
So we were always in it, right? So we would have special music and the lights would turn off. And so, I think it was just a great experience overall to see these people come down and just all be so happy.
How many rounds did you do per night? So you said you used to do, in one day, how many times does it go up and down?
It was, it started with 2, then it was 3, then we started to do corporate events as well. That was during the daytime.
Okay.
So during daytime we were also flying, and then it was corporate events.
Okay.
So teams, groups of companies that would either have their lunch or a high tea or all this kind of stuff. So we were going up and down a lot.
So how do you think, for example, Dinner in the Sky, right? It fits into a larger culinary scene. How do you see it continuing to innovate? Are people going to take that concept and just go even bigger?
I think so, yeah. And I think, especially in Thailand, there's still a huge demand for people that just want to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Malaysia, KL is a very good example of where it's been permanently placed very close to the Petronas Towers, and it's been running every day, and it's been almost full every single day. So there is a lot of demand just for the experience.
Yeah, because I feel like people live in this illusion that Thailand is cheap, but I'm like, firstly, according to me, it's not.
Yeah.
But I also feel like there's a lot of people here who will pay for quality and premium experiences.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, this is a buzzing city. This is an
Yeah.
expensive city to me.
It is, and it's a city where there's already so much.
Yeah.
Right, you have all the rooftop bars, and you have, I mean, everything is there. Quality is super high.
Yeah.
So how can you differentiate? How can you make something that can top that even, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, then it's it's come to that. I mean, it's come to either hanging people in the air. You also have like dine in the dark, for example. You're having dinner in the dark, which is amazing. I tried it.
Really?
Fantastic concept. Yeah, super cool. And I was very skeptical. It's like,
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people. I'm like, I can't imagine how that would be.
Right. I was like, no, but then, they dragged me there, and it's like,
they
okay,
have it
try.
here in Bangkok?
Yes.
Wow.
So that, you have the Le Petit Chef where they do like the 3D animation.
That one I've tried, yeah. That one's
did
cool.
you like it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun,
It's
right?
entertaining.
I mean, yeah. So it's like,
it's not every day I do that, right?
no. But it's, it's in the end, it's weird, man. It's like, people pay a premium to go on. You get lifted in the air.
Yeah.
And have, I mean, it's a wild sort of idea, right? And but that's what people look for. This novelty, right? Something new, something exciting. So, I think the future for Dinner in the Sky in Thailand is still, it's huge, and I think a lot of people are waiting to try.
That's the next question.
Yeah.
What are the plans and projects regarding Dinner in the Sky that you are excited about? When is it coming back, man?
Yeah, well, I wish I could answer that question, but we have sold the license.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
So
when you buy the
is
license, it
gone.
exclusively belongs to you?
Yes.
Okay, so you've sold the license to someone else in Thailand?
Yes, actually to Malaysian group. So I spoke with them recently, and they are working on it.
Nice.
Trying to get it back.
Interesting.
But so it's not in my hands anymore. I wish it was, because I really miss it. It was fun.
Will you be involved?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe there's I think I can give a lot of benefit and knowledge and connections to them, but that's up to them. I mean, I would be open for that, but let's see. But I really hope they will bring it back. I really hope, and I know they will.
Now's the
it's
time.
just when, and the timing got to be correct, right? COVID was, of course, a very scary time, but I think now would be already a good time to do it.
I think so too, because people now are willing to pay for experiences. Everybody just wants to feel again.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Especially locals, especially that's what I say when I say that. I personally don't think Thailand is a cheap country, because people have different standards of living here. Yes, you can enjoy that amazing life, and I love how cheap it can be, but like you said, it can go 10 times more than anything, really.
Yeah, it's a city of mega contrast, right? I mean, it's and the good thing is there's something for everyone, right? But it's it goes to. For me, it also always feels very extreme that people wanted to be lifted up with a crane in the air and have dinner there. It really shows very well.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's the tendency of what people want? They want excitement. They want something new.
Yeah.
They're full of maybe the sky bars and the same thing, and it just probably gets more extreme every time, right? So it's I think it gives a good sort of picture of how mature a city like this is in terms of experience, right?
Okay. So, are you actually currently part of any other business venture, or I want to talk about, of course, Bangkok Community Health Fund, but before I do that, what other business ventures are you doing right now?
I am not involved in so much. I of course in the last 10 years, we sort of went through Bangkok Nightlife Dinner in the Sky, but I have done other stuff as well, in e-commerce, offline, and that some of them are still there.
Okay.
So they are still running, they're still operated, so that's still involvement from my side there. Not so much, but it makes me able to fully focus on my foundation, so that this is the perfect setup, because I want to do that, and I want to fully focus on that.
All right, let's talk about Bangkok Community Help Foundation. You founded this.
Correct. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the decisions in your life I have to ask, because I somehow don't expect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a very what's the word? You're just a very complex man. As in, you do things and you're like, oh, how did you? Why?
Yeah.
So why did you decide to do Bangkok Community Help Foundation?
I mean, it's like I said in the beginning. The thing is the love for Thailand, the love for this city. I mean, this is my home. It feels very much like that, and I feel like, okay, if we're part of society, and it doesn't matter that I'm a foreigner or Thai, right? I mean, if we're part of society, then we should be there in good times and bad times. And I felt, especially during COVID, when it was coming up, we didn't know how it was going to behave. We didn't know what it was going to do, but we just realized, okay, the country is going to close their borders, so that's going to be trouble for a lot of people, right? Because we heavily rely on tourism, so. And same for me. I mean, business was also slowing down, of course. Dinner in the Sky was sold already. The rest of the business was kind of going by itself. So it's like, okay, what is the best use of my time? And I felt, well, that's the best use of my time is to go out and help someone else.
Yeah.
And that just made so much sense to me. And Greg Lang, which you had on the show as well,
absolutely,
felt the same way. And we met kind of not by chance, but I wanted to start to cook meals again together with my previous business partner, some friends. So I called him and said, I know you have all these restaurants, I need a kitchen to do this. I met him that morning, we started cooking, and that's sort of when it kicked off. So not intentionally like, okay, let's build a foundation, a charity, but just like, okay, let's go out and help, because it's very much needed now.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this? Like since 2020, early 2020?
Early 2020, when all of it started, basically. Yeah.
And I think 2020 was a miserable year for the world in general, but especially Thailand.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to know you, I think 2020 as well.
Yeah.
2021, early 2021.
Yeah.
And you guys were one of the few people we knew who actually were like, you don't discriminate. Help is help.
Yes.
Whether they're Thais, whether they're foreigners, whether they're in a Burmese migrant camp.
Yeah.
And it was shocking to see the situation and how these people were neglected.
Yeah.
A lot of them were just neglected, and they were just like, closed off in some camp, just left to deal with it themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I just still know, like, you experienced it on a first-hand basis.
Yes.
Like, just looking at this horrible moment, like, can I ask you, like, personally, like, did it affect you in your emotional state, just seeing so much sadness and stuff around you? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, once when it's happening, it's kind of just, it all goes, right? It's like this bullet train that's just speeding.
Yeah.
So you don't really have time to sort of reflect. It was just that, we started out, like I mentioned, with meals and food, which was super important to do. Yeah, and then when it sort of started to become really serious, when it started like to, the hospitals started getting full, people were like literally, dying in their homes. For us, that shift was really big, because it's like, today we were handing out meals. The next day we're literally holding, bodies in our arms, and I mean, it's not a exaggeration of someone that died, right? So that was a big shift. But it's like, it's all these sagas, right? So it starts, and the way the virus behaved, we had to sort of counteract on that all the time. So you mentioned the construction camps. Yeah, that's another saga that just appears, right? Thai government says, okay, we are scared that there will be an outbreak in these construction camps. We will lock 80,000 people inside of these camps for 1 month. Okay, that's number one. It's like, okay, that's okay. And so we start figuring out, okay, what does that mean? Then very quickly we realize nobody takes care of these people. So construction companies, some cases, just didn't give a
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Just let them rot inside, right? And the gates were locked. There was army in front, so nobody knew what was going inside. So you're like, okay, that cannot happen. Not on our watch, right?
Yeah.
So we just said, okay, let's go. So we go there, knock on the doors of those camps, pull open the doors, literally, and just go in there and say, okay, what's happening here? And then we found, literally, a lot of Burmese, Cambodian, Lao, also Thai, that, were boiling rainwater because there was no fresh water to drink. There was no food. They literally had to either, there were lakes in some of these construction areas where they would go and fish because there was nothing, and they were not able to go outside, and nothing was coming in. So we started supplying all these people with food, necessities. I mean, there were kids in there, little babies, that are from these migrant workers' families that live in these camps. Where was their baby formula? Where was medicine if they needed? There was nothing. So yeah, I mean, we stepped in and tried, or did as much as we could, and also to advocate for these people as well. So we were guests at the Foreign Correspondents Club, which was like a live event, and we sort of rang the alarm bell. And I remember we did it on your show as well, on the Thaiger, and it was like kind of like setting off a bomb because nobody really knew what was going on, and we were just saying like, this, what's happening here is is inhumane, and it cannot happen this way.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I think when everyone's struggling, everybody just kind of thinks inwards, as in me, my family.
Correct, yeah.
And then we're fine. And that's a natural response, and
Yes.
that's okay. But then,
Yes.
I think when we kind of got used to it, we kind of just forgot about that other people exist,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
were all within our homes and we were
Right.
just like together. And then as the country's opening up, and then we hear stories from you,
Yeah.
and that hey, there are these camps. Hey, these people are being just held there,
Yeah.
being locked up, and you're just
Neglected.
like, it kind of just almost doesn't register for me. I was like, no, this can't be right.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way that these human beings can be treated this way.
Literally like animals in a cage, and
Yeah.
it's really, really bad what happened there. But like you say, I mean, for us it was like against all odds. Everybody said stay inside. The government said go inside. I mean, that was basically the mission for everyone. Stay inside, don't go out, and do your thing, right? And we did the complete opposite. I mean, we helped over 1 million people at least during that time. So we have seen over 1 million people in that time. I don't think I've ever seen more people in my life during a period of time where seeing others was a very dangerous thing, and being close to others, right? So we just did the exact opposite of what, and there's no, that people chose to stay inside and take care of their own families is actually, of course, very right. I mean, it's not like that was a wrong thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But we just felt like, okay, we cannot do that. We need to get out there and help. And that's what we did, and we, it was intense. It was very intense, and like I said, it was just non-stop, and
I mean, because of your great work and Bangkok Community Help Foundation. I mean, you're right. You've helped like possibly 1 million people, fed all these people.
Yes.
Through sickness, through homelessness, just being, the country just giving up on them, really.
Yeah, and that's also like, I mean, and also there it's like, a lot of people, especially that time, had the question like, okay, and why are you doing like the government's job and stuff, which, I mean, it's a fair question, but it's not fair in the sense that no government was prepared for anything like this. And we've seen it in the West, we've seen it in Europe, we've seen it in the States that are very sort of developed countries, and they were not able to figure it out as well. So we always said, okay, well, I mean, we can do what we can do, so let us do that part, because, it's also easy to say like, oh, the government should have taken care of them, but if it doesn't happen, who's gonna do it, right? So we felt there was just a big need, and we should step in, and we did. And I mean, it's been, yeah, also a great ride in that way. We build a beautiful community, Bangkok Community Help Foundation. We help the community,
Yeah.
but we're a community ourselves. Over 500 volunteers, growing every day, like-minded people that form friendships, relationships. I mean, it's amazing because people with the same mindset come together, and the goal of everybody is the same. We're going to help someone else. So everybody you meet in our community is like that. So it connects very easily.
Yeah.
Because we all have that same mindset. If you don't want to help, you don't come with us, right? So it's cool. I mean, it's amazing. And we did that during a time, again, where social interactions were not a thing. It shouldn't, you shouldn't socially interact. And still that we were able to build such a beautiful community during that time, I think is amazing. And it speaks for people that even during, a time like this that nobody ever experienced in their life, that they are willing to, give their time, also risk their health. I mean, there was definitely a lot of risk involved. To do that for someone else because they see that's needed, I think is very beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's also because of the love of Thailand. Of course, we have a lot of Thai people that help us as well. But I think a lot of people that are foreigners in our community, they feel that same way. And I want to give back to this country that gave me so much.
And is there now more help from the government? Like, have you seen a change from before? Are they more supportive of the foundation?
Oh, yes. Now we're very close with the government. So in the beginning, it was, again, we were a little bit, pioneering. Like, it was like we were out there and nobody was supposed to be out there. So government in the beginning, like police, and they were a little bit like, guys, what are you doing? And you shouldn't do this. And so in the beginning it was a little bit like,
It's like why are these foreigners just
right.
not listening and just helping people? How dare you?
Yeah. It was really a cat and mouse game.
Which is a strange thing to say. Like, why are you helping people?
Why are you doing this? Yeah. Well, it was like, honestly, it was cat and mouse game. I mean, we would literally let's say like Hulampong train station, right? A lot of homeless people there.
Yeah.
We would go there to help. We'd bring food, we'd bring medicine, whatever was needed. The police would come and chase us out. We would go around the back, go back in and hand out the rest. I mean, it was really a weird time. Because, again, there was no protocol too. And I understand that because, we had lines of thousands of people sometimes. And that was very dangerous because, of course, also we didn't know yet how the virus spread. I mean, you remember, it was like if we were in this room together without a mask for 10 seconds, you would be infected. It was the wildest theories, right?
Yeah.
So I get it, you know what I mean? But again...
We literally wouldn't even be in this room.
No, it wouldn't be
and
possible.
if we were...
2-3
meters away
and all this stuff. And so I get it. But the thing is, we just never gave up. And I think that speaks for us as a foundation that we just said, we just have to do it. Because, there's people dying.
I can't imagine being a police officer telling you to go away, stop feeding these homeless, hungry people. Go away.
Yeah, it's
nobody
tough.
wants to do that, but I guess they're also under instructions. They're all doing their job. At the end of the day, it's easy to say that because they're all doing their jobs. I get it, but at some point you're just like, you just wanted to help, and it's thanks to maybe your determination of helping them. That those people were able to survive, literally survive.
Yeah, in the most sort of primal form, like survive the day, literally. And but it's a very good point you make. Officers, everybody, they're not evil people, and they also see that these people need help. But they get instructions too, and they have their reputation on the line and their job. So
and
it all
they're
makes
thinking
sense,
that they'll spread the virus and more people will die.
Of course, and this was also a tendency people had at some point. And it was the same in Klong Thai, right? We worked so much there that at some point there was obvious, how do you call it? It was prejudice against the people from Klong Thai because COVID was so wildly spread there. So there was some, I think even this building, there's a big food delivery company also has an office here in this building or not?
Used to.
Yeah. So
our old office.
So
we won't name them.
But this company was at some point denying people from Klong Toi Salam access to this building, this very building, which is crazy. But it did happen because there it spread like wildfire because, again, there's no isolation. There's no way to properly shield yourself off. So, I mean, again, it was like, okay, if you have COVID, then isolate, right? So go in the second bedroom or whatever. In the slum, there are no bedrooms, right?
Yeah.
There are no bathrooms. So there is no way to properly isolate, right? So, again, a saga of this pandemic was that we then started building community isolation centers, which is like football fields with this cardboard beds, mattress on top, and people would come and isolate there. And we would have doctors, we would have food, we would have medicine. So it's again like a countermeasure to try and fight this what was happening. So that's just, it's very hard to grasp and explain, like, what do you guys do? Many people ask. So it's almost impossible to explain because it's been all these different things all the time. You know, it's like there were no ambulances at some point. We started buying ambulances, refitted them with equipment, started driving people to the hospital. Hospitals were full at some point. We started bringing oxygen to people in their homes so they were able to survive for a hospital bed to become available. So yeah, it's been so many things, and still to this date, I mean, we're sending out medicine every day. Every day, you know.
Well, I think the last time we met was like on the 100th day of your 100-day food giveaway.
Right, and we just celebrated our 200th day.
Lovely.
Right,
That's
and you remember
amazing.
because we did the video with you, and then you asked like, okay, what's next? And we said, well, let's go for 200 days then because it's not improving. And I think it's been 2 weeks ago. And you know, this is for, you know, for people that don't know, it's for the homeless and elderly in Thailand that end up on the street and again do not have any food, do not have any care basically. It's really a gap in Thai society, especially for the elderly.
You know this, how the country like helps if you can sign up for welfare and they give like I think 200 baht a month or
600
600 baht a month.
So that's
most
20
people
baht a
can't
day.
even apply for it. These people that you're helping.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. So if they can apply for it, it's 600 baht. That's 20 baht a day. That you cannot survive on.
That's if you get approved.
Right. So you exactly
20 baht a day. Literally, sorry. In my mind, I had 200.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 20 baht a day.
If you can apply for it, and if you get approved, you get 20 baht a day.
Yeah.
But the people that that I met that day that were homeless on the streets and who you basically go and help every day, they can't even apply. They don't even have phones to apply. Probably.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
or
it's
internet or anything.
Yes, the know-how exactly is not even there. And yeah, this is really sad. This is really sad because people, you know, elderly, I mean, Thailand, the sort of cultural structure is that you rely on your family, right? Your family is your pension, basically.
Yeah.
So, but what we see is a lot of elderly, they somewhere along the line cut with their family, had a problem, might not have family anymore. So there's no more structure there. There's no more backup. So now they completely rely on the government, which again is 20 baht a day. As you get older, it becomes 800 baht, it becomes 1200 baht. But I mean, we're talking old.
Yeah.
So people have worked all their life, and at the end of their lifespan, they end up on the street in Thailand. And this is very, very sad. And this is something that needs to be solved on a government level, political level. I think there are many ways, and I have ideas enough how to do it. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Well, let's talk about a few then. Like, what are some of the changes that you would want? Like, maybe nothing is an easy fix, but maybe some simple changes that could help.
Well, for the elderly, I think, it's simple. I mean, you need to increase this budget, right? So that needs to come from tax money. So why not raise VAT to 10%? I mean, this also been in the works for years, right? Like, okay, are we going to raise the VAT? And it's not a popular thing to do, right? Yeah. Nobody wants to raise VAT because it's not fun.
All the people living in Thailand are not
no
longer your
I know
fan.
you. Yeah, but but go with us and you'll understand.
Yes.
And then again, I mean, if that goes up 5%, then that 5% need to be used in the right way. Yeah. So that's another thing, right? In Thailand, that can
VAT
be.
is not even applied for everything, so the people who can afford things that have VAT on them
Yeah.
don't really care about the 3%.
Yeah, I think so too. And 7% VAT is very low.
Yes.
I mean, look at Europe. I mean, it's 20, and Netherlands 23%. It's even higher in some other places.
Yeah.
So you get extreme amounts of extra money to the government if you raise it with 3 or 5%. Then you can funnel this money into, you know, a pension fund, state pension fund. You can also social security fund. I mean, is empty now because of what happened in the past 2 years, but also there's, you know, you can increase. And what not many people know is that Thailand is a super aging society. It's like Japan. In Japan, there's so many elderly
Yeah.
that the younger generation is not able to take care of them anymore financially, right? So there's not enough workforce to create enough money to take care of everybody. And in Thailand, this is happening the same way. Not yet there. It's called a super grey society, but it will happen in, they predict, about 10 years. So if you don't do anything now, and it's bad already, what will happen in 10 years, right? So I think it's a big warning, alarm, red flag that you see. I mean, you were there with us.
Yeah.
80% of the demographic that we help that's homeless is elderly. It's 60 plus, 70 plus. So this needs to change somehow. They need help.
Yeah.
They cannot go to work anymore, so they're not a workforce. So how do you solve this, right? It's it's a big question for us too. Like, how do we do this? I mean, how can we tackle this problem? We work together with the government. We have created a central hub where homeless can come.
Yeah.
This is near the Pinkao Bridge, where they can come, they can register. So there will be a registry of homeless in Bangkok, where they can get, you know, you can request medical help, ID card, whatever they need. So it's kind of like an effort to at least map out what's going on. But yeah, also, I mean, to be fair, I mean, we've been there now 230 days straight, right? Let's say like that, bringing meals, bringing water, bringing whatever we need to do. Realistically, this is not something we can sustain as well.
Yeah.
So how do we solve this, right? And for us as a foundation, it's all about looking at the future and at long-term solutions, right? Do we bring food, or do we somehow make them able to get their own food, right? It's you know, teach the man how to fish instead of giving the fish. This is the credo of everything we do, because that's what it's about. We need to get people back on their feet, which is possible in Klong Thai, in this kind of areas, but homelessness and this elderly is kind of the last end of society. How do you solve this? We cannot solve this. Unfortunately, this needs to be done on government level. And we are willing, and I'm willing to try and do that. So, I mean, I talked to the governor of Bangkok, I talked to member of parliament, and I try to convince them to think or do something, because it needs to happen. So, yeah, that's one of the things I would really want to see happen, that they take care of these people better.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe just allow it for foreigners to be able to participate in politics, and I'll be the first one there. Honestly, why not? You know, I mean, it's
Bangkok representative.
Yeah. No, I mean, we are very lucky with the new governor now, right? Chad is very good, very progressive guy.
Are there any unions or anything available for foreigners
in terms of like politics, or no, you can't. You can't as a foreigner.
No union, no committee.
I think so, but it's like more in the background. So that's more like, okay, you can have like foreign advisors, for example, right?
Okay.
So, and I think they do that, but not any, and that would already be fine too, right?
Have you ever considered becoming a Thai citizen?
I've thought about it. I want to be a permanent resident, and this I'm working on this now, so this is happening now. So I think that for me makes the most sense.
Okay.
But maybe
in the future,
maybe, it would be, it would really fit, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would, but it's not something that's on the list. But permanent residency I like, because I've sort of, it's that one stamp forever, right? And it's just, it's good enough. I think.
Yeah. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be. Yeah. But I see a lot of people are applying, and and I never met anyone that became like Thai in that way. But now in the last, I think 2 months, I met like 4 of them. And it's pretty, you too, right? Congrats.
Yeah. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for the documents.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, man. I mean, you gotta tell me more about it. Maybe we'll do it after. But I mean, sure. No, it's super interesting. And I think it's sort of the final boss stage of the, you know what I mean? It's like, the final stage is you become Thai, and I think you and I, we relate very much with Thai, and we've been here so long.
Exactly.
And it's like, this is it,
People like to brand it, like people might not understand. It's like, we've lived here long enough that we consider ourselves part of this country.
Yes.
Part of, like, Thai people are my people.
Yes.
These streets are my streets.
Yes.
I take it personally.
Yeah.
I care as much as anyone else.
Yes.
Same
here.
Yeah, like, just like you, and yeah. But I do hope the government does provide more help, at least to Bangkok Community Help Foundation and the people of the city. And thanks to people like you, they can't at least hide away or get away with it. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to, obviously I always look forward to Bangkok Community Help Foundation and the work that you do.
Yeah.
But also you as an entrepreneur, any future ventures you do. But thanks for coming on and having a chat with me. Yeah.
And thank you for all the support, because you guys been there
always,
also
man,
from the early beginning when we were grinding. And
we're like a little crumb in your big cookie.
But it's amazing, because everything helps. And if we can ask people that are watching, check us out on Facebook, on
absolutely.
Twitter,
So you've got Bangkok Community Health Foundation on Facebook.
Yeah. We're everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Snap. What's it called? The other one, not Snapchat, TikTok. Yeah. So just check us out, and if you see something you have of interest, send a message and come by. I mean, everybody's welcome to come and join us on this mission to help someone else, and I guarantee that you will like it, and it will give you a lot back. And if you like Thailand, if you love Thailand, then this would be a great way to show that, actually.
All right. Well, thanks, Friso, for coming
thanks
on.
a lot. It was really a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, the podcast.